Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Montana Digital Academy Fall Virtual Open House. It's Tuesday, September 10th, 2024, and my name is Jason Neifer, and I am the Executive Director of MTDA, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's events. A little quick roadmap before we get started. We're going to talk a little bit about the history of Montana Digital Academy, give you a brief program overview, talk about both parent and student roles at MTDA, hear from two of our wonderful teachers about why they like teaching for Montana Digital Academy, then talk through support and how your student can get additional support from both their local school and Montana Digital Academy, and finally talk a little bit about our tribal-facing programs, including our tribal language program. Again, we welcome you to this meeting tonight. We hope that you can get all the information that you need, but if you have questions, don't be afraid to reach out. We are ready, willing, and waiting for any question or issue you have so we can help solve it and move forward together. It's hard to believe, but Montana Digital Academy is entering its 15th year of delivering services to students across the state of Montana. MTDA was created by the 2009 legislature with the intent of creating a statewide distance learning program for students in K-12 schools across the state, and we have had a wonderful run of program expansion, honing our skills, and developing great distance learning environments for students across the state. As you can see here, we have been constantly working towards building a great, sustainable statewide program so students can learn anytime, anywhere with Montana Digital Academy up until today when your student is enrolled in a course. I will show you this. One of the things that we love to do is to create a map of where our students are located. This is from a few semesters ago, but it gives you a sense of the expanse of the program across the state and all the students we serve. We oftentimes show this map off to people outside of the state of Montana, both so they can appreciate the extraordinary geography that our state brings, but also the wide expanse of services and students that we serve as part of our day-to-day work at Montana Digital Academy. We couldn't be more proud to work with this program and in particular with your student. I want to talk a little bit about when MTDA works best, and there will be more information about this throughout our virtual open house tonight, but there are three things I really want to point out that really are the most important things about being successful in a distance learning environment. First and foremost, proactive communication. And while I would encourage you and your student to proactively communicate when you think there is an issue or you need help resolving something, we strongly believe that everyone needs to work together to proactively communicate, and that's not one person's responsibility to communicate. Our team at Montana Digital Academy, our faculty at Montana Digital Academy, local teachers, site facilitators, counselors, administrators, and of course, you and your student, we all need to work together to proactively communicate where there are issues, because issues can oftentimes be resolved in just seconds when we communicate early, but create much bigger problems later if we don't proactively let folks know what's going on in all directions. Second, distance learning is very independent, and a lot of students bring wonderful independent learning skills to the online environment, but if that doesn't describe your student or where they're at in their learning development, it's really important that we work together to develop those independent learning skills, whether it's creating to-do lists for the week or scheduling around personal circumstances, being mindful of what tasks are due when is a really important part of being a great independent learner. And if anything, distance learning can help create really great independent learning skills that will really last a lifetime and bring additional benefits down the road. And last, distance learning is like every learning environment, and when I was in the classroom and when I'm still teaching occasionally at the university, I tell students that the best way to approach any class is to have a sense of adventure and to seize the day. And I think it's a really important part of great, successful distance learning environments, well, really any learning environment. So please encourage your student to take on a sense of adventure as they take this online course. And with that, I'd like to hand it to Mike Agustinelli, our Assistant Director and Curriculum Director. Mike?
Thanks, Jason. So I get to talk to you all about the overall program at MTDA, and what I'd like to start with is making sure that everyone is clear on where MTDA sits in the educational landscape in Montana. So MTDA is a supplemental course provider through local public schools across Montana. We do use certified Montana teachers that are actively teaching in Montana schools. And so your local school or the enrolling authority is where you both enroll into MTDA and where your eventual grade will come from. So as the student works through the semester and doing the assignments and quizzes and all of that learning, at the end of the semester, MTDA then reports a percentage to the local school district, and it's the district's responsibility to take that percentage and turn it into a grade and put it on the student's high school transcript. It's also important to note that MTDA does run its own separate calendar that may be slightly different than your local school. You can check out the MTDA calendar at mtda.link/calendar. It's a good idea to review the MTDA calendar, as just because you have the day off at your local school does not always mean you have the day off at MTDA. So please make sure to review that calendar and be aware of start and stop dates and any days that MTDA is closed. So we have some frequently asked questions that we like to address during this virtual open house. And so the first kind of double set of questions is about checking grades and checking progress in the course. So all parents and guardians were provided a login in addition to their child when that child was enrolled in MTDA. If you did not receive your login information, simply email support@mtda.org and we'll be happy to get that information to you. If you have your username and password, simply navigate to mtda.org or montanadigitalacademy.org, and on our homepage in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Login to Learn. When you click on that, you'll be brought to a login screen. You put in your username and password. You are then entered into our student information system. So there's a lot of information you can get right at the student information system level. And probably one of the most important areas to make a habit of checking is the gradebook. So as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, there's a gradebook link. Clicking on that gradebook shows you a layout of each class. If your child is enrolled in more than one course, you simply toggle between the courses. All the assignments will show with the points possible, points earned, when the due date is for those assignments, and when your child submitted their or turned in that assignment or took that quiz. So that's a real great indication for you of if your child's staying up to pace, how they're doing week by week in their course. I also wanted to note that you'll see little blue call-out icons. If you click on those blue call-out icons, you'll see the specific feedback that the teacher provided for your child on that specific assignment or quiz. MTDA uses the Canvas learning management system for all of our learning and instruction. One of the great things about this platform is that all parents and guardians not only have access to the student information system, but they have access as an observer into the course itself in the learning management system. So what we're looking at here on this screen is we're still in the student information system. After you've logged in, you'll notice that each of the courses that your child is enrolled in has a button that says Observe Course. When you press on that button to observe course, you are brought into the learning management system, in a dashboard display where each course is shown in a block layout format. When you click on that block layout format, then you will be in the course being able to observe all the same assignments and lessons that your child sees in their course. So here we are in the learning management system, and probably the best area for you to navigate to is to click on modules. By clicking on modules, it will give you a layout of each particular learning activity and assignment. So that brings up another question that we often get, which is, how do you know if my child completed a lesson at MTDA? Well, first and foremost, look at how they're doing in their assignments in their grade book, right? If they're scoring well, that's a good indication that they've been going through the lessons. If they're not, then at the learning management system level, we have the opportunity here to see these green check marks as the student progresses down the learning pathway. If you're not seeing green check marks for your child, it means they're not accessing the actual lessons. Maybe they're just trying to click on the assignments and knock them out without actually looking at the lesson. If that's the case, obviously the first place to start is a conversation with your child about making sure they're working sequentially through the learning path. And as always, if you need any help in interpreting what's happening in the system, emailing support@mtda.org is your best method to get quick help, and someone from MTDA will be happy to kind of help take a look and help you understand what's happening in the learning management system for your child. We often get asked about tutoring services and or if there's a cost for the e-texts in courses. So on the tutoring front, every course at MTDA has 24/7 tutoring available through our partnership with tutor.com. It's a great service. By clicking on the live tutor button in any course, or by clicking on tutor.com in the menu on the left-hand side of the learning management system, students are brought to an interface where they are asked, what do you need help with? The more specific the student can ask the question, the better. They're then connected with a tutor in about a minute or less. And then they enter into a virtual whiteboarding session. There is no video displayed or anything like that. It's just a digital whiteboard with a chat room so that the tutor can ask the student questions back and forth, and then they can whiteboard out whatever they need help with. We find that a typical tutoring session is about 20 minutes in length. We've had this partnership with tutor.com over the past 10 years now, and consistently students rate the service with a 95% or higher satisfaction rate. And what we love about it as educators is the tutors are really good at asking leading questions for the student versus telling them answers. The second question about availability of e-text is we take care of all of that for the student. So everything that the student needs is in the course. With the exception of in our English courses, there are a few novels that are readily available in the student's school library. There are a few instances where we ask students to check those out at their library to have the access. Otherwise, we work to put as much into the courses in a digitized format as possible. So then there's always the question about, if students want to work ahead. And one of the great things about MTDA is that we do open our assignments a week ahead of time so that students can always be working ahead. This is a great idea if you're students in athletics or extracurricular activities and living a busy life. We always prefer students work ahead versus trying to make up, and we accommodate that by making sure that they have access to content way before it's due. So with that, I'll turn it over to Robin Nuttall, our Distance Learning Program Director, to talk to you about the different roles at MTDA.
Thanks, Mike. While learning at MTDA, teachers, students, and parents will work together. Teachers will monitor student learning to determine when things are going well and when students might be struggling. They'll provide feedback that helps you improve your learning and celebrate your success. A big part of the teacher's role is to communicate with students, families, and schools about expectations and learning progress. Successful students participate actively in all the learning activities. If you're doing your learning at home, it's a good idea to set up a consistent academic schedule with regular learning times in an identified learning space. If you're learning at school, you should also ensure you're spending enough time in your courses. When students have questions, it's important to self-advocate by reaching out to your teacher or to our support desk. The role of a parent in an online school is similar to the role in a face-to-face classroom. Parents can check grades and progress in their Parent Genius account or as an observer in Canvas. Each assignment has due dates, so you can see what's been missed and what's coming up. Parents can help students practice self-advocacy skills by coaching students to reach out to the teacher or to the help desk. You can even help them draft emails and help establish healthy learning routines at home with a consistent schedule and a designated learning space. When we work together, our students can be successful. And now I'd like to introduce you to Jenny Lovering, who's one of our high school teachers.
Thank you, Robin. I've been teaching with Digital Academy for the past 10 years. And one of the things that I've really appreciated working online is getting to interact with so many different students across the state of Montana. I love being part of a program that offers so much to so many. I get to teach with top-notch educators that I probably wouldn't have been able to teach with otherwise. And the experience has really informed my classroom teaching. For instance, you have to be very specific and very thorough as a communicator with Digital Academy with your students. And I've been able to take that into my physical classroom, and which obviously really helped during COVID, but also helps for students who miss class for any reason. And I'm not only a teacher at Digital Academy, I'm also the parent of kids who took Digital Academy classes. In some schools, you just don't have the flexibility or variety of courses, especially some of the smaller schools across Montana. For instance, my sons took classes that they couldn't fit into their schedules because of single offerings like jazz band or percussion ensemble. My oldest son took an AP computer science class, which was fantastic. It wasn't offered at our schools, but it actually goes directly into what his degree field is at Montana State University. They were able to take classes like oceanography and classes like French and things that they wouldn't have been able to take at the local high school. So there are so many interesting offerings, and even every year I feel like there are more and more offerings, and I really wish that I could have accessed some of those when I was a student. Thanks. And now I'd like to introduce Ted Miller.
Thanks, Jenny. I'm Ted Miller, and I'm the principal at Columbia Falls Junior High in Columbia Falls. This is my third year teaching for Montana Digital Academy. It has been a wonderful experience, and I'm excited to continue to educate students from all over our great state of Montana. As educators, I believe one of our primary goals is to inspire and empower students. And teaching for MTDA offers unique opportunities to achieve this in dynamic and meaningful ways. I'm able to connect with a group of diverse students from various geographic locations and cultural backgrounds and have a positive impact on their lives. I get to know every student and provide guidance so they are successful in school. I particularly enjoy the interactions with each of my students. It is a bright spot in my day and one of the reasons why I teach for MTDA. In addition, MTDA is a great alternative because not all students have access to certain course offerings, and we are able to provide that instruction and fill that need. I teach students from rural communities and to bigger cities. All of them need the courses we provide and be able to interact with an instructor that knows the subject matter, how to support them in their learning journey, and an instructor who is going to get to know them as a person. One of the greatest accomplishments is seeing students grow and have success as we work together through the duration of the course to reach our learning goals. As an administrator, I have noted that middle school students can benefit from taking online courses because some students don't do well in a traditional learning environment, or they might need the flexibility of an online school. Whatever the reason, the structure of an online course is beneficial for those students. We need to be able to adapt to that and provide that educational setting. In addition, many careers are technology driven, so that it prepares students for life after middle school. Many high schools offer online courses, and so do colleges. And while in high school, some of those even work with colleges to provide college credit. The experience a student has with MTDA now will put them ahead of the curve moving forward. Also, there are many schools that don't have sufficient resources and staffing to provide the learning opportunities students need. I think this problem will continue to get worse in the future, and providing online schooling with certified teachers fills that void. Not only does it fill that void, but it is our duty to help those students be successful in whatever we can do. Using MTDA to provide advanced courses, career explorations, coding, general core classes, to name a few, is a blessing for many students and districts. Students are set up for success in life because of this academy. I would like to now introduce you to Kristen Cole, our MTDA Operations Manager.
Thanks, Ted. MTDA provides comprehensive technical support for MTDA's students, parents, and school staff members. If you're facing issues with links, submitting assignments, or audiovisual tools within your course, simply reach out to us with detailed information about the issue you're facing. A member of our team will get back to you as soon as possible. One of the most common issues we handle at the support desk involves usernames and passwords. So, if you're locked out of your account or have forgotten your password, don't hesitate to contact us at the support desk. Now, I'd like to introduce Caitlin Byers, one of our student support and content specialists.
Thanks, Kristen. Even though students are learning online, we think it's important to remember that they are not learning alone. We know that sometimes students need help right away. As Mike mentioned earlier, a tutor is just a click or two away at the top of each course once it's launched. From there, your student can chat with an academic tutor who will help them get unstuck through a work with me approach. Tutoring is a great way to help your student feel more confident and get back on the path to success in their MTDA course. If you'd like more information about the tutoring service that we offer, you can find a click-by-click guide on the last page of the Student Parent Handbook. Next up, Kate Peterson is going to tell us more about the role of adults at our partner schools.
Thanks, Caitlin. One other resource that you should be aware of is the site facilitator or local support person. This local adult can help the students with things like enrollment, course access, and assignment submission. Every local support adult or site facilitator has a slightly different role based on their other responsibilities within their school. But it is helpful to know that there is someone students can check in with at the school if needed. If you need to know who this person is at your school, please reach out to our help desk and we can connect you with that person. And now I will turn it over to Dr. Anna East, who is our Tribal Relations and Education Fellow at MTDA.
Thanks so much. I'm going to talk a little bit today about the tribal relations position. My primary role is to work with tribes of Montana in partnership to create Indigenous language courses. We offer courses in Cree, Crow, Nakota, and Dakota languages, and those are taught by Class 7 certified teachers in those languages. I also provide support for reservation and off-reservation schools and the unique needs of their communities. I'm the liaison for those schools to reach out if they have any kinds of questions, problems, or challenges facing their community, and then I'm able to disseminate that information out to our teachers. Similarly, I provide support for Native students who are enrolled from anywhere in the state in our programs, and work with them and their schools to provide them what they need to be successful in Digital Academy classes. And then finally, I also work to align our MTDA courses to Indian Education for All, which is our statewide mandate in multicultural education and culturally responsive teaching. The QR code will take you to the main page for the Indigenous Language Program if you would like to learn more about it and watch a little video.
Great. Thanks, Anna. And that's it. Thank you so much for attending our Fall 2024 virtual open house. It's been our pleasure to talk about our program and ways we can help serve your student throughout the Montana Digital Academy semester. For more information or for assistance, contact our support desk, support@mtda.org, or go to our website, mtda.org. Have a great night. Thank you.